My name is William Deng, and today I am presenting my genetic modified organism. My genetic engineered organism is going to be the jaguar. The jaguar is a tertiary consumer of the tropical rainforest. Without the presence of the jaguar, the tropical rainforest faces obliteration as secondary consumer can increase exponentially that will render the primary consumers in waste, which eventually the secondary consumer will be unable to be supported and die off. This will leave the tropical rainforest with only primary producer, which without the other tropic levels, the energy would never be able to flow on. Thus, the whole ecosystem faces an imminent threat if the jaguars are not present. However, right now the jaguar in the tropical rainforest is threatened due to human interventions, both directly and indirectly. And with the decrease in population of jaguars, the fate of tropical rainforest is at stake. Thus, to help the jaguars to maintain a stable population, I created a genetically modified jaguar. This new genetically modified jaguar will have a tail design similar to a rattlesnake. The rattlesnake is utilized to lure prey. The rattlesnake's tail is utilized to lure prey by emitting sound by vibration of the tail. This can be similar to be used by the jaguars, as the jaguar can utilize his tail to lure possible prey. This greatly boosts the jaguar's probability of obtaining food. The increase of input of food means the increase of jaguar populations, thus solving our problem. Now, first, to actually genetic engineer a jaguar, we need to change its DNA sequence. The jaguar DNA is very important to our genetic modified organism, as it is the DNA that shapes the cell functions. DNA stands for deoxyribonucleic nucleic acid, and the DNA from the parent are passed on to the offspring. Every cell in the organism body contains the DNA. The DNA is similar to a blueprint for the cell. The DNA is necessary to be utilized in protein synthesis, which creates protein that's necessary for cell functions. You can see the image on the left is the protein. The image on the right, the image on the left is the DNA. The image on the right, in the middle is RNA, and the image on the right, in the way right, is the ribosomes. The part of DNA is being replicated to be used as mRNA, which is known as messenger RNA. And in combination with the RNA, which is the ribosome RNA, and tRNA, which is transfer RNA with amino acid, the cell can thus properly produce the needed protein and perform its functions. The protein produced by a cell shows the phenotype of the organism. What I'm doing as altering the cell's DNA is similar to a mutation, which also changes the cell's DNA. Mutation may be caused by other replication errors or other factors such as radiation. A mutation can change a protein to be produced by cells. Sometimes it can be lethal, sometimes it can be beneficial. Since we are changing the protein of the cell of the jaguars, we are technically mutating the jaguars, but it's for a better purpose. Now, jaguar will sexually reproduce. The cells of each sex will experience meiosis, which is the production of offsprings. Reproduction is the production of offsprings. Now, in sexual reproduction, the cells of each sex will experience meiosis. In meiosis, the original cell of the diploid or pair chromosome will convert to haploid gametes along with the changing genetic information due to genetic recombination that will increase variations, as variation is crucial for evolution. Thus, from the 38 diploid chromosomes of the jaguar, as we research, the jaguar gametes will have 19 haploid chromosomes that are unique. During meiosis of a parent cell, genes are altered that control certain traits, so that when two gametes meet, the cell that is formed will also have the mutation. To fully create a jaguar, the gametes of both the mother and the father will have to meet together. And this is where genetic dominance and recessive comes into play. As the dominant or recessive of the allele dictates the probability of a jaguar showing this new trait, we can find a probability of the phenotype showing by utilizing the method of a Punnett square. Of course, to finally figure out the probability of this phenotype of utilizing Punnett square, we have to understand if the parent is homozygous or heterozygous, if the new trait we develop is dominant or recessive. Of course, there are always a chance of co-dominance or incomplete dominance, which is known as that two genotypes of the parents are both dominant or recessive. However, usually this is really rare, and thus it is usually not a big problem to be taken of. The change of a cell's DNA is due to biotechnology. which is to utilize individual cells to improve the overall organism that will in the end improve the world. The combining gene from different organisms is known as recombinant DNA technology, which is what I'm doing by combining genetic information of a rattlesnake and a jaguar. But genetic engineering, the jaguar cells is gene change and refit to make a better use. To do so, I could utilize a variety of ways to alter DNA information of the jaguar. That includes a gene gun utilizing elemental particles, a virus inserted to alter DNA, or a syringe small enough to inject DNA information into the cell. I prefer the gene gun, as the virus object may be compromised by organism's immune system, and the syringe may also be very difficult. As a new trait, the jaguar has higher chance of survival, thus allowed to be reproduced more. To successfully recreate the next generation of this trait, I'll utilize the gene gun to change DNA of the gametes of the parents, as to have the embryo to have the DNA right after it is created due to sexual reproduction is the best timing. Now, as you can see, mitosis is cells. Thus, for cells that have to change DNA, its cells will undergo mitosis, which means that the cell will create an exact copy of itself. Now, since the offspring of jaguar will start with one cell, the one cell will continue, and when the mitosis in the end to form that jaguar shape, we are sure that in the end all the cells of the jaguar will have that information. When it is undergoing mitosis as necessary for growth, we are sure that the phenotypic genetic information will be in all cells of the embryo. Whether or not it will show is more due to a matter of probability, as we mentioned in the Punnett square. Thus, in the end, please choose our genetic modified organism, as us humans have done enough to harm the nature and its environment. This new genetic modified jaguar will be crucial to the balancing of the ecosystem of the tropical rainforest. Thank you, sirs. Please consider our ideas. Have a great day. The end.
肯定发不了了，我得只能通过那个 file transfer 了。
I don't care. Just do it. Make it on YouTube, and then is this over?
Over.
So when is